Okay, so today we are going to talk about murder ballads, or really the creepiest ballads that, or not necessarily ballads, the creepiest songs that popular artists have done. And I'm gonna tell you right now, trigger warning, because a lot of this stuff is really dark. That's why I decided to actually try to wear something sort of whimsical, because I was like, yeah, this is dark. So, the first song we are going to talk about is Barton Hollow by the Civil Wars. So, this is like that traditional murder ballad and a little bit of history about the murder ballad. So they originate in Europe, and of course, with people coming into the United States, or what will become the United States, these murder ballads will flourish in areas of Appalachia, so like North Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, West Virginia, all those places. And this is done in that tradition. And being from the South, I actually have heard a couple of these types of ballads. But these are the lyrics. And just a little, first off, let me give you a little bit of a summary. Actually, the song will give you the summary. But is the summary of the song. So basically, this song is about a murder or a murderer. And someone has been murdered, and this person has to run. So I guess you could say the narrator of the song is running from his crime, and the crime apparently occurred in an area called Barton Hollow. The person questions why he did this murder, and there's some. I mean, I've heard this song a bunch of times. It's actually one of my favorite songs, but there's a quote that I didn't really think about until I like physically read the lyrics, and the lyric is, "Did that full moon force my hands, or that unmarked $100,000?" So it's like, did the full moon make me do it? Like did I have some lunacy, or was it over money? And he knows he is going to hell, and there's this other lyric that says that represents that or illustrates that, and it's, "I know the Lord my soul won't take." There's another lyric here that's from Alabama, or rather it shows he's from Alabama, and it's not Alabama clay that gives my trembling hands away. So it's like I guess you could say it's a double entendre. I don't really, it's got a double meaning, So it's not Alabama clay, which is pretty red. So that means this man literally has blood on his hands. Then the next lyric is, "Oh, or ooh, underneath the water." So it's like, did he drown this person? Or is this more so dealing with the fact that because you did this murder, like no river, no holy, because there's another line in there that refers to a preacher man saving his soul through baptism. But yeah, I was like, when I first heard that song, I was like, this is dark. I like it, but it's really dark. And it was so different from anything that I had heard at that time. Yeah, and they're actually from Muscle Shoals, Alabama, which is known for this, the Civil Wars are, which is known for this very specific sound. It's very unique. I think the Alabama Shakes are also from Muscle Shoals. So yeah, just give the song a listen and you'll see what I mean. Sorry if my explanation was a little rocky. Now this next one, there are a couple songs on here, a couple more by the Beatles, and it just begs the question, are the Beatles okay? Or were the Beatles okay? Because they got a few songs that are concerning. Like, okay, misogyny, but like, I'm not gonna spoil it for you, but good Lord, I just want to know: were the Beatles okay were they going through something when they wrote this? So this song is called "Run for Your Life." This is on the Rubber Soul album, and the song is based around an Elvis song called "Baby Let's Play House," which was recorded in 1955. And these are the lyrics. Let me put my notebook in front of me. Let me go full like reporter. So these are the lyrics from the Elvis song. Now listen to me, baby. Try to understand. I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than to be with another man. Well, John Lennon heard that and was like, I'm gonna make it creepy. So, this is a song he actually said he never really liked. It was like a one-off. I guess he just, scribbled down some lyrics is what I read in this article. The song is actually said to be misogynistic, but I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. Because, it to me, that's just like, that's a little bit. We're just scratching the surface with using misogyny for this song. So here we go. These are the lyrics. Well, I'd rather see you dead, little girl, than to be with another man. You better keep your head, little girl, or you won't know where I am. You better run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl. Catch you with another man, that's the end, little girl. So that's the first part. So like right when you hear this song, you're like, excuse me? But no, he don't stop there. Well, you know that I'm a wicked man, a wicked guy, and I was born with a jealous mind. And I can't spend my whole life trying to make you toe the line. And then we repeat, what I said in the first sermon, the first, I guess you could say, stanza. But the last part is what really got me effed up. Let this be a sermon. I mean everything I said. Baby, I'm determined, and I'd rather see you dead. Ew. That song is oddly catchy, and I think it's just the music. Because when you first hear the first thing with a lot of these songs is you hear the music, come in, and you're like, oh, okay. And then you start listening to lyrics, and that's what happened with me with Run for Your Life. I was like, okay. Oh, no. Tisk. Mother-ing tisk. I was like, this is dark. Which led me to ask, are the Beatles okay? Because that right there, you need therapy. And while we're on that subject, we're going to go to another Beatles song. Actually, I have two of them. One is Norwegian Wood and one is Max Silver Hammer. I'm trying to see which one I have. The one. Okay, the first one I have is Norwegian Wood. Now, what's creepy about Norwegian Wood, other than the lyrics, is the fact that it's got this really like hippie, melody with it's even got the trademark sitar that everybody was including in their songs in the 60s. And then we hear the lyrics. And it starts out innocuous, I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. Actually, that's not innocuous now that I think about it. She showed me her room. Isn't it good? Norwegian Wood. And he said, she asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. And I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. He then goes on to say, I sat on a rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. It goes, she told me she worked in the morning and started to laugh. I told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep in the bath. Bomb drop. And when I woke, I was alone. This bird had flown. So I lit a fire. Isn't it good? Norwegian wood. So apparently the story is that, if you didn't catch, that this man was with a girl, and in the beginning he's like, yeah, he was like, yeah, I once had a girl, or rather she had me, and she asked him to stay, and so he thought, oh, it's prime time, right? It's time to get down and dirty in the bed. And then she was like, no. And so he got mad and set fire to her house. And Paul McCartney actually says, like, yeah, no, it's not, this isn't a euphemism. No, he set her fucking house afire. Like, that's what that is. That's what that's about. And wow. Once again, are the Beatles okay? Do we need to do a wellness check? Because good Lord. Now the next song is very on the nose, and this is called Maxwell's Silver Hammer. And I've heard it described, and I listened to it, but I've heard it described as like something you would hear, like the melody is something you would hear on like a children's show. And it kind of is. So this is about a murderous med student whose weapon of choice is a hammer, hence the name Maxwell's Silver Hammer. He murders his study partner. He murders his teacher. He murders the judge presiding over his case. Good Lord. And the lyrics were so straightforward that I was like, yeah, nah, we don't need them. But yeah, good Lord. I just can't even. I might like put the lyrics or some of the lyrics, somewhere for you to look at. But this man just goes on a murder spree, and the reason he murders his teacher is because he's upset because she's told him to stay after class because he was acting up in class, and so she was like, "I need to talk to you," and he took out his hammer and just. I think they even say like bang bang or something like that goes his hammer. Check on your boys. That's all I got to say. And so now we are going to go to some classics. We are going to listen or talk about the kind of things that my grandparents and great grandparents would have been listening to back in the day. That generation. They went through a lot. I mean, they really did, but like, you got this kind of music as your entertainment. So, there is a song that is like, I guess y'all gonna judge me. It's kind of dear to my heart. It's called Where Did You Sleep Last Night? It's sang by many people. So Lead Belly is one. He's the one that I knew of. Then you have Nirvana's cover, which I listened to a couple of nights ago, and I was in here just like, yes, you better sing. Yes, Kurt Cobain, tear the club up. Like, he was killing it. And then you have another version by, I think they call themselves, it's WZRD, but I'm pretty sure they mean it's Wizard too, but I don't know. But either way, their version slaps as well. So this song is also called In the Pines and Black Girl. So this is a traditional American folk song, and it originates from two songs, which is The Pines and The Longest Train. It dates back to the 1870s at least, and the song originated in the southern Appalachian area. So, what I mentioned earlier. So, East Tennessee, Kentucky, Western North Carolina, and Northern Georgia. This song was passed down through oral tradition, And I think they said its first recording was in the 1920s. You'll find that a lot with these songs that were passed down through oral tradition. Once recording became readily available, people started to, make it go, or, spread it to a wider audience. So these are the lyrics. My girl, don't lie to me. Tell me, where did you sleep last night? In the pines, where the sun don't never shine, and I shivered the whole night through. My girl, where will you go? I'm going where the cold wind blows. And then it goes to this one. This song, this part of the song took me way the fuck out. They're like, her husband was a hard-working man just about a mile from here. His head was found in a driving wheel, but his body never was found. So if you want to know what a driving wheel is, I'm going to put a picture up, so you'll know what that is. But the way I understood the way the song is set up is, it's the man trying to ask his wife or his girlfriend, where have you been? And then it goes to maybe some people in town saying her husband went looking for her and he was found dead, either by murder or accident. And I think that also comes from the part of the other song, that is The Train, since a driver wheel has to do, if I remember correctly, with railroad and railroad construction. So there's some other breakdowns too. So like I said, he discovers his wife has been cheating. That's pretty obvious. And he goes to look out into the cold night. And that's why I said he's either killed in an accident or murdered. It's one of the creepiest yet captivating songs I've ever heard. Every version you listen to, it's creepy. I think it's when Leadbelly sings it, it's just this I can't even explain it. It's something I feel like you'd hear in a shack in the woods or in the swamp or something. It's really creepy, but I love it, especially for this time of year. I remember we were on our way somewhere and I fell asleep and I had my iPod on shuffle. Yeah, this song's on my iPod. Y'all leave me alone. I'm a spooky bitch. But I fell asleep and then this song started playing and I was like, oh, no, change. I think I woke up on the part when they were like, his head was found in a driver wheel and his body was, never was found. I was like, oh my God. And to continue that tradition, there is a song. It's sung by Jimi Hendrix. I wasn't sure who actually penned Hey Joe, but he put a blues spin on it. So originally I thought this was a blues song that he just, recreated. So this is a straight murder. This man just straight murked his wife. And there are no euphemisms. Jimi Hendrix don't do euphemisms. It's as bare bones as you can get. So Hey Joe tells the story of a man who is going to murder his wife. He literally says, I'm going down to shoot my old lady, because he caught her cheating. And then he does it because the narrator says, hey Joe, I know you shot your mama down. And of course, he has to run to Mexico, which is in the lyrics. And he's not going, because he's not going to be found. So he apparently kills his wife and then heads down to Mexico. And I would advise you to listen to Hey Joe by Jimi Hendrix. I don't know, I like the music. Obviously the lyrics are pretty dark, but I really love his guitar playing on it, because it sounds like blues, and I know he was influenced by blues music. But that song is so straightforward. He's like, I'm going to shoot my lady, and the other guy is like, really? What an interesting life you must lead. And the two last songs are by Lady Day herself, Billie Holiday. Gloomy Sunday. Now, the first time I've heard Gloomy Sunday, but I did not know the lore behind it. So this song is actually a Hungarian song. And it is apparently so depressing, or it was allegedly so depressing, that people killed themselves over it. And I mean, to be fair, this was written during the Depression era, the Great Depression, so that might have had something to do with it. But there was a documentary I watched. It was one of those like little, weird happening shows. And they determined that it was because of the key it was written in, which is, I think it's C minor. It caused these people who probably already had, mental issues dealing with their finances and things. It like further drove them to suicide. And there were a bunch of suicides in Hungary due to this song. So like I said, the origins of this song are Hungarian. And it was composed for piano by, forgive my pronunciation, Rezo, I think it's Seres, in 1933. The original lyrics were titled, "The World is Ending." So once again, no euphemisms, just straight up, I'm telling you what it is. So Gloomy Sunday was first recorded in English by Hal Kemp in 1936, but the one I know, and I'm sure the one you might know, but or it might sound familiar, is by Billie Holiday, which was recorded in 1941. So like I said, there's an urban legend associated with this song, and that's the one about it, making people unalive themselves. And that is sad, like that, sad and crazy at the same time. But song is in C minor and written at the time of the Great Depression, just as a reiteration. So the lyrics, here we go. Sunday is gloomy. My hours are slumberless. Dearest, the shadows I live with are numberless. Little white flowers will never waken you, not where the black coach of sorrow has taken you. Angels have no thought of ever returning you. Would they be angry if I thought of joining you? And side note, you got to listen to Billie Holiday sing it, because it's very pretty and dark. Gloomy is Sunday, so this is a continuation of the lyrics. With shadows I spend it all. My heart and I have decided to end it all. Soon there'll be candles and prayers that are sad, I know. Let them not weep. Let them know that I am glad to go. Death is no dream. For in death I'm caressing you. With the last breath of my soul, I'll be blessing you. And then she ends it with Gloomy Sunday. But it doesn't end with Gloomy Sunday. She actually, I guess, because us Americans are soft. She turned it around and added that it was a dream, which is still kind of terrifying. That's terrifying, because she was like, she wakes up and he's there in the bed with her. But there's something that's still dark about that, and I think it's just that those lyrics, prior to revealing that it's a dream. Now the next song we're going to talk about, we're finna get real. We're finna get real political. People were not happy about this song. Good Lord. This is Strange Fruit by Billie Holiday. So this was originally, or sang by Billie Holiday, actually. So this was originally a poem, and it was written by a Jewish teacher and civil rights activist from the Bronx, New York. He was inspired by a 1930s photo that captured the lynchings or hangings of two black men in Indiana, probably southern Indiana. I said what I said. Billie Holiday, upon coming across this, would be reminded of her father, who was turned away in 1939 while suffering from a fatal lung disorder. So basically, he was not allowed, medical attention because he was a black man. Of course, Lady Day did not enjoy singing this song. I don't know anybody that would. But she felt that she had a duty to sing it because, I mean, it painted a picture that many people wanted to ignore or maybe didn't know about, but I think it's more so ignored. And just a little side history note as well, she pissed off a lot of the people, specifically the white people that were coming to the supper club to hear her sing, because they don't want to hear about black struggles. Black people dying. What? No. Not in our country. But it was happening. So these are the lyrics. Southern trees bear strange fruit. Blood on the leaves and blood at the root. Black bodies swinging in the southern breeze. Strange fruit hanging from the poplar trees. Pastoral or pastor, which is pastoral or country scene of the gallant South. The bulging eyes and the twisted mouths. Scent of magnolias, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh. Here is a fruit for the crows to pluck, for the rain to gather, for the wind to suck, for the sun to hit, for the trees to drop. Here is a strange and bitter crop. Now, there's a part in there that is like, other than, of course, it's describing a horrible crime, but there's something so creepy about like comparing like with the magnolias and the gallant South. So you're immediately thinking about Gone with the Wind and Tara and like these beautiful plantation homes, but then your mind has to like switch to these victims hanging from the trees and like how this fruit cannot be eaten but by crows. It is dark. And you can see why people were like, oh, we're going to see Billie Holiday, and she starts singing Strange Fruit, and they like, whoa, what the hell? It's like, this is Southern Gothic. This is like super Southern Gothic. And like, it always takes somebody out of your community, so to speak, to see how up things are. And there are a lot of, actually this is a thing in Southern Gothic stories, like a part of that genre is like there's like, oh, it's beautiful, and then there's like darkness, but yeah, so that is the end of all that. So I will see you on the next episode of Painted Hank Halloween edition. Bye.